Alright guys, so today's video is tips to go from gold to platinum. None of these tips are actually ranked. I'm just going to kind of go down the line of just some things I thought about because I've seen some people kind of struggling, and one of the first ones I saw was that people weren't sure of what legend to pick when playing ranked. Um, so, alright guys, so real quick, here is a characters to choose list. And S tier to F tier. I kind of placed them out for you. I made a video before, but then I realized that like I wasn't zoomed in. I was like this, and then when I zoomed in, it just looked really choppy. So I was like, let me not. Let me just zoom in. Let me just re-record it so you guys can get a little bit better quality on this as well. So they're already in their placements, but I'm gonna kind of go down why they're in their placements. Gibby, S tier. Why is Gibby S tier? Because one, his gun shield is like an extra 45 damage on his person. So he can have no shield and have a white shield. It's kind of crazy. So if you have a blue, it's a purple. If you have a purple, it's a red. If you have a red, it's beyond a red. Kind of awesome. His bombardment is easy to help third party get away from fights and create space from teams so you can leave fights as well. Octane, awesome character. S tier, you can stem into fights, stem out to fights. Same thing with jump pad, jump into fights, jump out of fights, reposition. Uh, Wraith, her Q is beautiful to get away from fights. You just have to find time because it takes a little bit longer to use her Q, but that's okay. Same thing with her portal. Her portal is actually awesome because your teammate's down. You could portal them into a building, portal them in behind a rock, portal them to make them in a safer spot. You're in an tight area and it's a very close circle, and you guys want to try to rotate, but you can't rotate safely. Portal. Same reason why Valk is here. Her ultimate helps you reposition so beautifully. The other thing that's also really slept on about Valkyrie, and the reason I have her as an S tier character, is the fact that if you hit somebody with your Q, you stun them and hit them for 25 damage. So if you're an Octane or any other movement character, you can run in there with an EVA 8 or R99 or anything that's fast, up close, paced, and you can. So if you hit anybody with your Q, it hits them for 25 and it stuns them. So if you're a fast character like Octane or any other movement character, you can get up in that person's face and help finish off that kill a lot quicker. Bloodhound. The reason Bloodhound is an S tier character, the amount of information this man can give you while he's scanning in the middle of a fight is superb. Yes, they keep trying to nerf him, but like the information is still so vital and so needed. The only downfall is if you scan too soon, you give away your positioning because everyone gets to see that you scanned. You also move 30% faster in your ult, and you get your scans back faster in your ult, which is kind of intense. The other thing about Bloodhound, I don't even know. There's another thing about Bloodhound, but I'm forgetting it right now. Pathfinder. The reason he's A tier is because if you know how to use his Q and his little grapple, you can be an S tier character. That can happen with any of these characters here. These are just my preferences. Is that like, hey, if you're really good with Fuse, which I don't like, F is for Fuse, I guess. If you're really good with Fuse, yeah, you can make him an S tier character in your world of Apex, right? That's the beautiful thing about this. We all play these legends so completely different. His zipline and his ultimate comes back every time you scan a beacon. So if you're at a beacon, you can use his ultimate and then get an ultimate right away, which is kind of awesome. Revenant, the reason, don't be that guy. Don't use Revenant. We're not supposed, everyone hates it, but if you use them, it is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? But the thing I really like about Revenant is actually his silencer, because if you're trying to like chase someone like an Octane or a Wraith who's trying to get away, or a Valk, and you hit them with the Q, you silence them. They can't do anything for a while. Easy way to push into a team. Crypto, slept on, so slept on. That drone can scan the banners in the game for anyone 200 meters near you, pick up banners, respawn instantly, and plus on top of that, his ultimate hits for half of whatever shield they have plus a stun. So if you hit them and then you have movement characters right behind you on that, boom, you're on top of them. The reason Loba is an A tier character is because of her Q that got buffed. Before, when she used to throw her Q, it used to be a pause before she can like move or anything. So she just stand there and be like, "Hello, I'm Loba," and you just light her up. Now she actually moves right away, which is actually awesome, and it's also a lot faster. Lifeline. The reason she's here is because like the reason she's here with Revenant is because let's say you get revved out by a team, and then you have a lifeline. They knock one of your teammates. You can pick up your teammates, drop your Q, that now heals 60% faster. you and your teammate can now fend off 3 people who basically all have white shields because you sent them all back, which is beautiful. So Lifeline is really the counter to Revenant, just so you guys know. That's like golden information. Um, Bangalore. Bangalore is super slept on. Reason she's so great is her passive. Her passive is beautiful. She gets shot at. She moves 15% faster. She has smokes to help elevate her movement into a better play, right? Like you can use it to get away, smoke out another team so they can't see where you're going. And if your whole team has digi threats because you know you guys are running a Bangalore, that's just GG's. Like you guys are gonna wreck that other team because they're not gonna think to run a digi threat because of going against Bangalore. Obviously, as you get into the higher ranks such as Platinum, Diamond, Masters, and Predators, everyone's kind of always trying to grab a digi threat. Watson, the reason she's a B character is she's really good for holding off areas, but she's just all defensive. Like it's really hard for her to be offensive. Um, and the reason with Mirage is once you start shooting a Mirage, you kind of give away who you are. If you're really there's some like S tier Mirage players that definitely bring him into the S tier world. But I'm not one of those. Like I said, these are my preferences. If you're one of those people, cool, you can bring him into that world as well. Caustic. The reason I like Caustic is because of his gas. The reason I hate Caustic is because of his gas. And the reason he's in C is because not every fight is in close fights. But hey, sometimes he does help out. And like you're in an open field, but you don't want that team to push in a certain direction. So you use his ultimate. That's completely fine. You can do that. So there is ways to make him a better character, and you just have to be very skilled in using him as a character. All these characters take skill. Horizon, I would love to put Horizon higher. I really would. I do think Horizon's a great character, but right now she is nerfed to the ground. Taking her lift and her Q is elevator music playing in the background, and as you grow into those higher ranks, you're just getting beamed on that elevator. Like it is the worst, dude. And it's like an elevator from like the 1970s. Like it's barely working. You know what I mean? But her ultimate, awesome, great for controlling spaces, people in buildings, and just if they're holding a door. There's a lot of ways you can use Horizon to make your team and your gameplay so much better. Rampart, the thing is, I think she's so positioned. It's like if there's a Rampart there, you're gonna know. You're just gonna know. She has all her little walls up, and you just throw a grenade in there, and then they're just kind of done. But the only thing I've ever seen where it's like a Rampart and a Watson, she drops her ultimate. She has her ultimate down. Even if you're a Gibby and you throw your bombardment on there, you can't really destroy anything. They have that cover. They have that extra shield, so you kind of have to play it smart, But you can also shoot down her shields. So I do think she can be a great character. I haven't unlocked her personally, just because I just don't want to unlock her. I'm really more focused on trying to get better at honing skills in other characters. And then Fuse, I have him unlocked, but I just I just don't think Fuse is a great character, in my opinion. The way he throws grenades is so different from all the other characters. So once you get to him, it takes a certain set of requirements to get there. But can he become a great character? Yeah, I mean, any of these characters can be S tier characters if you're that person that knows that knows that character in and out and how to play them in every situation. So every one of these characters takes time to get to learn and develop the skills within that character. But then also remember that, like, hey, if you're running with a team, what is your team comp? How are you guys playing? Do you guys have one person that does recon, one person to attack, one person to defend? Are you guys all running attack legends? How are you guys wanting to go about it? In one of the clips I'm going to show you guys later, it is literally Octane, Wraith, and Bloodhound, all straight like S tier characters, which is awesome. There's no defenseman there, but like, hey, we have to play it really smart. That means if we get pinched, we know we got to gun our way out of that fight. But Gibby S tier as well, compared with anybody else. Gibby's a great character. Just he picks up faster inside of his bubble. He's just S tier. If you have yet to try Gibby, I say try Gibby. Learn him a little bit better. And it takes time because he feels different than every other character. He runs at the same speed as every character, besides like when people are on Octane or on either passives or ultimates. But he just runs different, and they made it look like he runs slower. He is not a slower character. He's a big dude. That's it. It just looks different. But yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys like this, and then on to the next tip. So let's kind of look at the Olympus map here, kind of just having my mouse icon right here. I don't know if you can see it, but if you where you land is a big thing. You know, anything in here in the center here, Turbine, Estates, Hammond Labs, Energy Depot, it's just third-party central. Landing on the outskirts, and even solar, you know, people are going to either move into you from Plaza or from Orbital Cannon. Orbital Cannon, not a lot of people land there. Um, Sorry, my phone rang. Orbital Cannon, not a lot of people will land there. Grow towers as well. Just landing on these offside areas and then kind of staying away from the middle is the best way to go. And playing uh, that edge of ring is super helpful. So, you know, landing on the offsides and then playing the edge of ring is super helpful. Landing on the edge is really what you want to go for. Anything in the middle, you're going to get third-partied. And also you see all the beacons here. They rotate throughout the map, of course, but having a beacon character will help you play that edge of circle and kind of moving around and going into the next best position. You know, if you're grow towers and you hear shots up here, you're not going to have a good time, because at the time you get up here, Solar's going to be up here. The person from Plaza is going to be pushing down to here, while you and Solar are meeting here. They already pushed into Hammond Labs, and now you're fighting here, and now here comes Plaza coming in to just clean all of this up, and then Hammond Labs comes back up here, and then somebody from Garden, whoever won Garden's probably pushed Energy Depot, comes across the zip, and then meets you. This is just third-party central, and I say this is just avoid at all costs. Rifts is a really great place to land. It's really secluded fights, which is kind of nice. You just got to have that medium to long range weaponry. But yeah, so I would just say trying to stay away from little, place edge of circle, and have smart rotations and being like, hey, who's going to rotate into the spot we're rotating into? Are we going to meet a team there? Is there a team holding off that area? What should we worry about next? But yeah, and that next thing comes into picking smart fights. So as you do this, you want to pick smart fights. So here's a smart fight, right?
On the zip.
We're at Plaza. No one else is here. We're chilling. We're in Diamond. We know that we've been in the game for a while. This is ring closes. Rings is about to be closing. We know this team was here. We know they just finished the fight. So if we push this team, we know it's a secluded fight. 3v3. No one's going to third party. You have to think about how far everyone has to travel to get into Plaza. Plus the circle's not here yet. So we're like, okay, we can take this fight, but we have to finish it quickly. So we're just going to walk through this gameplay.
On the zip, on the zip. Crack, 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 crack. Oh my god, he's one shot.
If you start getting shot right away, that's super important. I hide cover. I'm not getting shot. I have to start healing right away. That's a very big point, is just heal as quick as possible. And if my teammate right now would have called out that, hey, I need help, I would have stopped healing. I would have ran out to these doors and see if I could provide some cover. So they got the one guy. We knocked him off the zip. He jumped off too early. This is where that Bloodhound comes really handy. You already know where that Bloodhound's moving. I can move in. They're going from underneath. I can always stem out of here. This is why this is a good flank. And I also can stem into this fight. I see my team coming up that. I'm like, I need to get there faster. Let me get there faster. So I'm coming in. Teammate calls out. He's cracked. And this is just a nice 1v1 fight. And like right here, I also want to replay this, that you have to use this. See how I use this right here to block off some shots? Use cover in your fights. Use cover. Try to be very smart about using cover, because he could have hit me for one more shot and my Wraith would have had to come in, and my Wraith would have been at a disadvantage coming up that zip line to finish that fight. My Wraith would have had that shield come in, but he would have came in. He might have thirsted me and then got a shield swap into a purple, and now my teammate has to fight somebody who got a shield swap into a purple. And talking about shield swaps, that's actually what we're going into next.
It's two. One's back there. But ape this guy.
So I saw this guy was rezzing. I thought he was still alive, but then I found out he was rezzing, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. We're just going to finish that. We don't want to make this, even if I would have aped the other guy with my teammate, we don't want this guy to turn around and then start fighting us. Luckily, he wasn't like a lifeline or something. He would have healed really fast. So my teammate takes that 1v1, but he gets wrecked. So I start pushing up. So I don't want my teammate to get thirst here. He cracked my shields. Now I can easily try to run away and go heal, but then I also give him time to heal. But in between me pushing him in this is there's a box. If I go to this box and then I shield swap fast, this isn't the fastest shield swap, but it's okay. I start to already get shots in. I'm already good. I can take that hit. I would have lost this fight by now if I would have not had that.
Come on, dog.
Also, thank you, Eva, for hitting like 7 and 9 tier. I don't like what I hit.
Come on, dog. Come on, dog.
7, 9, like what is that? So I ran away right away because he called out, hey, third party's here. So I just went to go heal. And that's kind of something that's really important, is making sure you get that shield swap. Even if you're not confident in getting the shield swap, practice it. Now's the time to practice it before you get into a higher rank and you can't do it fast enough, because everyone's going to be doing it. And it's going to be a lot harder to kill people when they're just shield swapping constantly. Even if it's into a lower shield, like a white shield, and you had a red. Your red is cracked, but there's a white shield with 2. You could take 50 more damage just because you picked up that white shield. Being smart about that is very, very useful as well. Leading into my next thing here is we lost this match. We got second place. I only had 2 kills and 2 assists. Teammate had 5 RP. My other teammate had 5 RP as well. We really didn't pick that much fights. Our damage isn't high. We played the game very slow. And the reason being is because when you get to those higher ranks, really, you want to get into those positions where you'll get more RP, which you'll see right here. I'm going to fast forward it. 92 RP, where for second place I got 60 RP. Where I wouldn't have gotten as much if I would have been thirsty for kills. So try not to be thirsty for kills. Pick smart fights and take your time in picking these fights. And that's kind of like one of my biggest tips for you, is just take your time, especially in the lower ranks. You get so much more RP by sitting, just surviving. Really just think about surviving. It's not a like team deathmatch, for example, is actually reverse psychology. It's not about killing the other team. It's actually about dying the least. The team who dies the least wins, right? So that's really what kind of mentality you want to have in these. Like, hey, I don't want to die. Even if you don't get the kill, I don't want to die. Focus on that and just focus on making sure you can move forward in that way. All right, guys, I hope these tips help. There's a lot of tips in here. I didn't really make like a solid 5 tips or anything like that, because there's just so many different small pieces of golden nuggets in here that you guys can really like take away from. Yeah, I stuttered. So what? What about it? I'm a human. Doesn't matter. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As well, if you liked it, if you have anyone else that's in gold, please feel free to share it. Help your friends get better too. Share this information with them. Help your team get better. Help your friends get better, so you guys can then climb the ranks together. And as well, like I said in the one part of the video as well, if you play a specific character, there's a lot of guides out there on characters too. Go check out those guides on YouTube. I don't have any for specific characters yet. I might plan on doing that in the future. But for now, I just kind of, stick into stuff that I know, and I'll maybe make guides for characters that I really like, Also, in the comment section, if you guys can just drop down, hey, what was your favorite piece of advice that I gave? If you have another piece of advice that you like, that you've been using, that has helped you grow, drop it down in the comments, and also write your rank right next to it, so then other people can see that, and you can help other people grow in the community as well. We're all in this together. Why not help each other grow? Right now, I'm trying to make this climb up to Masters, and it is rough, let me tell you. But yeah, I sometimes I just full send and don't care on Diamond, but that's the trap of Diamond 4, so don't do that. Keep grinding. But yo, see you guys next time. Have a good one. Peace.